Hello beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchiimoh, and on this channel I talk about cake business. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and on this channel my job is to help your cake business grow. Now today we're talking about something that is very important. Why is my red velvet cake brown? Oh, why does my red velvet cake have brown patches? And you know one interesting thing about this video, I have recorded this video before. I recorded it in Nigeria before I came here, but I don't know where that video is. I can't find it on my phone, and so this is me recording again and then trying to answer this question and to clear this challenge and to bring solutions to this problem. So if you know that you are in this situation currently, or you've been having this challenge for a while, you definitely want to keep on watching, because I'll be right back with some tips on what you can do or why you're having this issue. Stick around, I'll be right back. And you're welcome back. So let's go right ahead. If you are stopping here for the first time, you are most welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, become a part of the family. We'd love to have you here. We have a very warm and educating and enlightening community here. I hope that English is correct. Whatever. Okay, so the first thing is this. The first thing that comes to mind is recipe issues. I know you say this sounds cliche. Why are we always talking about recipes? But this thing with recipes is that it's very important and a great solid foundation to having, a good baking life. I don't know how else to put it, but I just believe that you understand. It is very fundamental and very important for you to have the right recipes from the get-go. I usually say that, I've said this a couple of times. Get yourself a good recipe. Don't run away from, I don't want to pay for this class, it looks too expensive. Get yourself a good recipe that can last you for years and that you can even tweak and it will still be fine. Do you understand? The red velvet recipe I used today, I've been using it for years. The fruitcake recipe, all my recipes basically, except my vanilla, I've tweaked and changed, and I even have, I have alternatives. But then get yourself a good recipe, invest in it. I don't know this thing about people being afraid of investing in themselves, investing in their businesses and getting good returns and value. So for someone like me, I have made that investment years ago and I am done with it. I am enjoying my recipe, I am using it well, and I'm using it right. I have no issues at all. Okay, so get yourself a good recipe. Now when we talk about recipe, it could be that there's an imbalance in the recipe. So if you look, I've talked about this, if you have an eye for baking, you understand the science of baking, you would be able to tell when something is wrong. For example, the quantity of red food color to the cocoa powder in it. So if there is an imbalance between these two, believe me, you would have maybe patches, or you would have some parts brown and then you have some parts red, or you have the top red and then you have the bottom. So please get yourself a good recipe, one that is balanced, especially when it comes to the ratio between the cocoa powder and the red food color. Please don't ask me. Some people just bring questions and off the blues, and I really can't answer. Okay, so please just get yourself a good recipe. If you would like to enroll in my class, I'm going to be rolling out my membership classes very soon, and this is one of the things I'll be teaching. If you know you would like to learn and have a good velvet recipe, please, you need to sign up for this class. Yes, like to sign up for this class, just keep your ears to the ground. You would get the information really and pretty soon, and when you see the money, please don't run away. It will bring solutions to your problems, and then you would enjoy the rest of your red velvet baking. So please look into this. Get yourself a good recipe. Okay, get yourself a good recipe. The second point is ingredients issues. Now you might be having challenges with your red velvet cake because of the ingredients you're using. Now for me, I use powdered food color. Okay, and I believe there's a red velvet recipe. Yeah, I have a red velvet recipe on my channel that is oil based, and I use powdered food color for that, and that is what I use. Okay, I use powdered food color and it works really fine. I know when I was having this issue back in the day, early on in my career, I was using a particular popular brand of liquid food coloring, and it just wasn't working until I switched to this powdered food color. That was when I was back in Nigeria, which I also brought here, by the way. Okay, so I believe that there is a good one that you can use here, but if you're not using a quality brand of food coloring, for your red velvet cake. Believe me, you're going to have issues with it. So please get a good red velvet food coloring that you can use. Some people advocate for using gel-based red food color. It is fine. I know there's a liquid brand that works. I really don't know the name now, but if you search well, if you do due diligence and search well, you're going to get them. So it's not cast in stone. So you can use quality powdered food color, gel food color, or liquid one, anyone that works fine for you, but make sure that you're using it right. And when it also comes to ingredients, some of you also use liquid, but you're not using it enough. Still tying it to the first point I talked about. Maybe you're not using that red velvet food color in the quantity that you're supposed to be using it. If you don't use it, the cocoa powder is going to overshadow it, and you will not have a red velvet cake at the end of the day. So please look at your ingredients right. Before I wrap up this point, I had this problem not so long ago, some few months back before I came here, where I was having brown patches, slight brown patches in my red food color, and the red was not bright enough, and it turned out to be that the product was not the original brand that I've been using. I didn't know. I bought it from the same store, but it was different. By the time we were looking at the bottles, the paper, the brand, the labeling, and everything, we found out that it was just an imitation. So please, you need to be mindful. You need to be aware. Do not buy imitation. And if you have these issues, please just discard it and then get a new one, which is what we did in our case. We just stopped using it immediately because it was messing up our cake and also not good at all for business. So please be sure that you're using a very good quality and the original. The third thing I'll be talking about is your baking temperature. So red velvet cake is not a cake that requires a high temperature for baking. It is either you're baking at the normal temperature, you're baking between 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For centigrade, I don't know what this is, but you can convert. You can use Google and check. People say around 150 to 170 thereabouts. Please just use a moderate temperature. Don't use something that will be too hot for it, because at the end of the day, you'll most likely end up with patches or brown base in your cake. We're going to come to that part about brown base, but please use a moderate baking temperature and let it cook and cook well, so that everything will be even. It will bake evenly, and there will not be fighting in between your cake. Okay, and you don't be seeing the brown part struggling to come out. Okay, so please use the right baking temperature. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is for you to line your pans. Okay, the kind of pan you use. Let me just say the kind of pan you use, and then the method you use as well. So use a good pan. I've talked about pans in one of my videos. I can't remember which exactly, but there are some pans that are just tailored to make your cakes burn. So from the get-go, your cakes will just get burnt no matter what you do. I had this type of pan back in Nigeria, where whenever I use it to bake, it will just burn my cake. So if you have that kind of pan, you're going to be most likely running into these issues, having burnt cakes and then having brown base. Okay, so you want to get yourself a good pan, and then when you get yourself a good pan, line the base. Use baking paper, line the base. Either you're doing the flour butter method, or you do the one where you grease the pan. Use your parchment paper, and then also use margarine again, so that it doesn't stick. Okay, this would help you not to get a brown base and to help your cake not to burn. Okay, so get yourself a good pan and then line your pan. So the fourth thing I'll be talking about, I believe you're still on track, number 4, right? So the fourth thing I'll be talking about is your mixing method. So some of us have some kind of mixing methods that by the time you are working with your red velvet cake, it doesn't just come out well. Okay, so me, from the point where I add my red velvet color into the mix, it turns red, and it is red all through from that point on until the baking, and even after the baking. Even if you cut through, you see that it's still red, because I use a good mixing method. Okay, so if you want to learn my recipe, like I said, I have a class coming up. I would have that class if I have people that are interested, because I don't want to put something up and then everybody's running away and then nobody wants to sign up. Okay, so I would have that class available. If you want to learn mine, you are warmly welcome. So I'm talking about the mixing method. Ensure that you're mixing right. Okay, some people say put the red food color in your flour. Some people will say put it directly. Some people will say different methods, but different methods works for different people. Mine is that I mix my red food color with my cocoa powder, and I am good to go. So know what recipe you have and ensure that you're mixing right and the mixing process is okay. It is flawless, it is faultless. And then to add to that, please don't rush the process. Okay, so mix and mix well, let it mix well, let it mix thoroughly, and let it just, mix, and let everything be well incorporated. Okay, by the time you add your cocoa powder, let everything be well incorporated. Now another thing is your cocoa powder and the quantity of your cocoa powder, the quality and the quantity of your cocoa powder. So please ensure that you're using a good brand. I don't know about Dutch but in cocoa powder, I've not used that before. That's not what I use for my chocolate cakes or for my red velvet cakes. So ensure that you're getting yourself a good brand. Dutch cocoa powder, I wouldn't want to go into that because I have not used it very well. I really don't have knowledge about it, but get yourself a quality brand of cocoa powder. And then for the quantity of your cocoa powder, also make sure that it is not too much to the point that it begins to overwhelm your red food color. Okay, so that's why I say get quality ingredients, make sure that everything is right, make sure that all your ingredients are balanced. Now we have come to the end of this video, and I believe that this video you found it of great help. Please, if you like this video, please click on the like button to help the visibility of this video, and so that you can continue to get more beautiful and educating videos just like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're yet to join the family, and also turn on notifications so that you're notified when I upload a new video. Drop me a kind comment as well, and if you have questions, also please drop them. Okay, so I look forward to having people indicate interest in this class. If I get a good number of people, I might just think of slashing the price. Okay, I might think of bringing the price down. Okay, so please, just for this ones, okay, so please let me know if you have any questions. You can drop them in the comments. Until I see you in the next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.